Listen, it's not that I don't understand the rule or agree with the rule. I think it's a great rule. It's just at this time, I don't have the pants, so that's why I'm buying the pants. So if you could just let me buy the pants, I'll have pants, and then we're out of this whole predicament. Oh, hello. Top and bottom talk time, solo pod. Anytime you hear a weird intro, that's usually what that means. We are continuing by unpopular request the top 100 favorite albums. Today it is 50 through 41. Some good ones, obviously. Some that I was like, is this high? Was I high when I made this list? And we'll talk our way through it. So I would say without further ado, let's get cranking. I don't know if I like that expression, but you know what? It's too late, and I'm not going to edit this. So let's rock. Number 50, this is one you've heard of, probably. Band is U2. Oh, by the way, we're in the top 50, guys. Exciting? I'm excited. Can you tell by my voice? I'm trying to communicate that with my tone. Anyway, number 50, band is U2, album The Joshua Tree. Favorite song, With or Without You. And then activity, I put Running in the Countryside, because I think you can do that for every single song in this. There's no song you could not, like that hill and The Sound of Music. You put whatever this is on, and you're just going to want to run, which kind of plays into my lyric. This album came out in 1987. Oh, I was 5. I don't remember it when it came out. I think I was picking my nose. 11 songs, 50 minutes, and they're all just bangers. It's got one of the best beginning runs of an album. I say beginning runs, it's just like kind of everything until maybe the last fewsies. Where the Streets Have No Name. It's one of these, like, none of these songs need an introduction. I still haven't found what I'm looking for, which that kind of coincides with the first one. Streets Have No Name. I wonder if there's a theme to this album. With or Without You. Hello. 1 billion plays. Thank you very much. Bullet the Blue Sky. And then some of the lesser songs that, I say lesser, just lesser known songs. Running a Standstill, banger. Red Hill Mining Town almost made my top favorite song of this album. In God's Country, makes you feel good inside. Trip Through Your Wires, I'm pretty sure makes you feel good inside. One Tree Hill, I think, is really good. And then Exit and Mothers of the Disappeared. I don't normally list all the tracks, but this one warrants it because the top 6 songs are just, they do not miss. They're all anthems, all epic songs. And honestly, I mean, it came out when I was 5, so it definitely feels like they've just always been around, always been popular. U2 the band, same thing. Just like ever present in my life. You'd be hard pressed to find a better start to an album. You probably will at some point on my list, but you specifically would be hard pressed. I obviously have great Chase. Chase? Do I have great Chase? Great taste. This album, I have a little history with U2. So one of their songs was played at my wedding. I don't remember the name, but it's very good. And it is Pam's favorite band. I was into, what was the one? I think one is actually on that album. No, not Zeropa. It doesn't really matter. But I was in one of their other albums a little bit more. But this one is just from start to finish. They did a whole reunion tour about just this album. And I did not go to it, which I regret. But just the entire album, there's not really anything I can tell you about the band. 4 lads from, I don't think they're from Liverpool, but from somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, just the band and the album. So they don't make them like this anymore. A lot of, they sing about things, a lot of feeling, a lot of earnestness. They just don't write them like this anymore. Just epic anthems that make you feel something. And I don't know, there's not a lot of bad stuff you hear about them. Occasionally I hear some things about Bono. He's maybe a little too into himself sometimes, but also seems like just an awesome dude. He is on I think Pam has a list of people she would leave me for, and Bono's definitely on that list. Been playing music together since they were kids. You know what it was? It was the Apple thing when I forgot the name of the album, but when you had an iPhone, there was one day where you woke up and all of a sudden U2's album was on, which in hindsight, pretty cool. You just got the album for free. But back then you were like, how dare they, violation of privacy, blah, blah, blah. Now we don't have privacy anymore, so we would just be like, oh, sweet. But back then it was a little cringy. It was cringe. It was it gave me the ick for a little bit. Let me think. What else did I have to add here? Maybe nothing else? Is this going to be a short, efficient podcast? No, we'll find a way around that. Actually, Pam and I have a bet about When the Streets Have No Name. Wait, do we have a bet about that? Oh, no, I remember. There's a street near my house that I swore had a street name, but it apparently does not. And I think I had to wash Pam's car at one point. So, fun little Pam facts, right? It is her favorite band, so you would expect that. I think that's it. But U2, I really got back into them, actually, when I met Pam, just because she was kind of forcing them down my throat. But I gave them another chance, and I really... by the way, I should be taking a nap right now, but, the dude abides. I just really got back into them and started giving them another chance, and I'm like, oh, this is good rock and roll music, as one of my favorite little pods would say. I know you guys love knowing how many plays. So With or Without You has 1.1 billion plays. Everything is minimum 12 million, and then I still haven't found what I'm looking for at 780 million. I think after this pod is released, maybe we can get that bumped up to 1 billion, right, guys? Right? And gals. That's about it. I'm pretty sure it sold a lot of albums, and I want to say at least 4 singles, maybe 5. Don't have any more info about it. Just that this is a band, maybe at the peak of their powers, just could not do wrong. They were just releasing album after album of awesome songs. Alrighty, number 49. Artist is Tom Waits. The album is Blood Money. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry for you too. My lyric, hello. Lyric was, I want to run, I want to hide, I want to tear down the walls that hold me inside, and if Bono were here. And by the way, the reason I'm doing some of this singing, for one, is it's horrible, and I find it humorous that I'm even attempting it, but I can't play the actual tracks, and so I thought, what better way for me to, at least get a feel for it, so you can say, hey, I'd like to hear more of that, and if so, just call me, and I'll happy to sing over the phone, or download the album, whichever. Depends on the hour of the day. So if Bono were here, he would say, I want to run, I want to hide, I want to tear down the walls that hold me inside. Whew. Boy, oh boy. I just took my own shirt off and threw it at me, myself. Not really. Number 49, Tom Waits. I will have to take a big drink of water when I do his song. Album is Blood Money. Favorite song. This one was tough because I honestly don't know what my favorite song is, but I went with God's Away on Business as I yawned through it. And activity to do while listening is Making Orcs in Mordor. That's for my Lord of the Ring peeps. This is kind of a pretty dark album. It's called Blood Money. First song is Misery's the River of the World, so you won't find it in many Disney films. Second song, Everything Goes to Hell. Track 5, God's Way on Business. Track 7, Knife Chase. Pretty sure that's a musical number. And then Starving in the Belly of a Whale, a lot of fun. This is a lot of like, Pam tells me not to do this on the table, but boom, bah, boom, bah, boom, bah. Like Angry Oompa Loompas. And then he's got some like just beautiful Coney Island Baby, just will bring a tear to your eye. All the World is Green is just a nice smiley song. Lullaby might be good. A Good Man is hard to find. Woof. Most popular song is All the World is Green, 7.8 milli. Not bad. This is the remastered version, so I never know if that's an accurate number or if it should be higher. I mean, obviously it should be higher. Wow, I'm going to yawn through this whole thing. Album came out in 2002, 13 songs, 42 minutes. And yeah, I just got finished talking about how strong the first side or the beginning of U2's Joshua Tree album is. This one, the same thing. Misery's the Way of the World. Yes, please. Everything Goes to Hell. Yes, please. Coney Island Baby. All the World is Green. God's Way on Business. And then probably Another Man's Vine. And then after that, hits a little bit of a lull. And part of that is a pun because there's a song called Lullaby in there. And then Starving in the Belly of a Whale is just a banger. Just a starving in the belly, starving in the belly, starving in the belly of a whale. Boom, boom. That pretty much sums that up. It's just a lot of fun. This album also came out at the same time. So he released, I don't know too many people that have done this. Tom Waits has quite the pair of balls on him. He released another album at literally the same time, I believe, called Alice, which is also great and initially made my list first. Mainly, the song Alice is just a beautiful song that I could listen to forever. But, the yawns. I'm just not stopping. Talking through them seems to have no effect. But yeah, it's maybe a slightler. Oh, Lord. I did mention at the beginning that I needed a nap. It's just a softer, slightly like more joyous album. But I say joyous. There's not usually a ton of joy with Tom Waits. But I will say this. So I was into Tom Waits already. My first intro was Mule Variations, which I dug. I really liked, and I like it even more the more I listened to it. Sorry. And then I kind of went backwards with him. Yes, I did. So I think I did that through BMG and Columbia House and those things. So I listened to Mule Variations that's on this list, so maybe I'll save some time for that. But really got into that and just thought it was an amazing album. And then I went backwards with him and started from the very beginning and just listening to everything and loved it. And then this was why I was around for the first new Tom Waits. And so Alice and Blood Money came out. And it was one of those ooh, which one should I buy? And then you just realize, oh, I need both of these because they're both amazing. And yeah, this is where the Tom Waits obsession kicked into overdrive, just these two. Yeah, he's got those military style bangers on here and the beautiful ballads that I mentioned. Kind of like the other Real Gone album that I mentioned earlier in the list. It's kind of just got, there's not as much weirdness on this one. I don't think there's anything super weird. But it's just such a strong album. And it kind of it's a great, if you just need an intro to Tom Waits, I would say this is a great place to start. I wrote down he's the Bill Murray of music, and I don't quite know what I meant by that. But just kind of has his own, I'm sorry. That's the last. Just kind of has his own corner, and I'm going to say that about somebody else in the music industry that just nobody kind of can mess with him. Favorite lyric I wrote, she's a rose, she's a pearl, she's a spin on my world, all the stars make their wishes on her eyes, which is just a beautiful sentiment. And if old Tommy were here, he would say, oh, Should I get water? No, let's see if I can do it without water. She's a rose. It's not a great start. She's a rose. Nope. She's a rose. You know what? Let's get that water because this is not going well. She's a rose. She's a pearl. She's a spin on my world. All the stars make the wishes on her eyes. That sucked. I'm going to try it one more time just because I can usually do a good Tom Waits, but it's not hoarse enough. She's a rose. She's a pearl. She's a spin. That's just, you know what? Let's move on, guys. Realize when you don't have it. And now is one of those times. Can't win them all. Number 48. My friend Lindsay pointed out that I had 297s before. So let's make sure I get the numbers correct. Number 48 on Top 100 Favorite Albums. Brought to you by Top and Bottom. Artist is Chemical Brothers. Album is Surrender. Favorite song? Music Response. And activity is doing all the drugs at once. Makes sense. This album, I read a little review of it before as I was trying to pick my favorite song, which was not easy. I love this album. I think when it came, I was big into, what was it? Wow, hold on. 143 million? Hey Boy, Hey Girl has 143 million plays. I'll repeat that. Hey Boy, Hey Girl, 143 milli? Criminelli. And then Let Forever Be at 34 mil. Not bad. That one has Noel Gallagher. Has some good guest appearances. But as far as the doing all the drugs at once, there's just, this is an electronic album, but it has so many different lanes that it goes in. Just different, like, I just absolutely adore this album. It has some bangers, some club bangers. I would say Hey Boy, Hey Girl is a club banger. Maybe Under the Influence. Orange Wedge is just really kind of, I don't know if you want to call it funky. It's just a really good electronic song. Asleep from Day has, I believe that's the one with Hope Sandoval, who is one of my big musical crushes, and it's just a very sultry song. Let me message Pam that I am doing my podcast because she's calling. Custom message, doing my pod, bro. Maybe that's enough. Let's find out. And yeah, I don't think I mentioned it. This is my favorite electronic band. So I was introduced to them through probably the MTV video for Black Rock and Beats. Some point whenever that came out. This came out in 99, 11 songs, 58 minutes, 58 seconds. Pretty cool. And I'm going to say the other one with Black Rock and Beats came out in like 97-ish, somewhere around there. I remember there were really cool yellow glasses that one of the guys wore. I wanted those for the longest time, and I never got them. But it kind of opened my eyes and ears to electronic music. I wasn't really into it up until then. And then when I heard Chemical Brothers, it spoke to me. The video for Black Rock and Beats was amazing. Felt like basically movie. And it got me to start dancing by myself. Not in front of people, thank God. But it struck a chord with me, and like I don't know, been into it ever since. And I've gone all kinds of different routes, different kinds of electronic music. I get confused with all the titles of house and blah blah blah, but this one has a lot of different sounds on it. So I would say if you're curious about electronic music, great place to start. Also has a ton of like guest vocalists. And I want to say I wrote them down. I did. Hope Sandoval from Mazzy Star, who I previously mentioned, huge musical crush. Noel Gallagher from Oasis was a big deal back then because Oasis was, I think, still pretty hot at the time, and getting him was a big one. I want to say the Bernard Sumner from New Order. And then Mercury Rev singer, I think, also is on here somewhere. So, but all the, like, music response is just, I mean, I put it on a workout mix, but I would put it on any mix that you desire. Maybe not a funeral mix, but, yeah, just like, they're kind of like epic anthems as well. So it's not just like, like some of these songs are kind of long, 6 minutes, 8 minutes. Actually, all the songs are pretty long. Out of Control, I think, is the one with the New Order guy, and it's just a fun song to sing. You know what? I was in high school when this came out, working at Pizza Hut, and this definitely made its way onto the playlist quite a bit. I remember, I think my friend Farah, I don't know if he actually liked it, but he did sing Out of Control with me quite a bit. I wrote down there's pure dance music, funky electronic, soft ones, just so much variety, but it all really melds together nicely. So, what else? Maybe that's it. We're going to make this quickity-dickety. Wish I hadn't rhymed that thing. And they just keep making good albums. I think they're still around to this day. Let's move on. Move on. 47. Artist is Girls. Album is called Album. Creative. You know what? I did not write. Favorite song is Lust for Life. Kind of tied with Hellhole Rat Race. But I did not write an activity. I'm going to say, because it's accurate for this dude, getting out of a cult. So this guy's parents or dad, I think there's two people in the band, but he, and I didn't do my Chemicals Brothers song. What is up with me, guys? All right, let's do the Chemical Brothers. So lyrically not a strong album, but you're not getting the Chemicals Brothers. Jeez, no words for my words. You're not getting a Chemical Brothers album for the lyrics, hopefully. You're getting it just for the sounds and the music. So this one could be that I'm just losing my touch, or maybe you think my mustache is too much. It's just a fun thing to say. So they say, could be, I don't remember how these went, so this is going to be awful. Could be that I'm just losing my touch, or maybe you think my mustache is too much. Okay. No regrets, guys, no regrets. And activity for the Girls album, I already said that. So he's from I think his dad was a cult leader, something like that. Or maybe he was in a cult as a kid, just something weird there. But this one is an album that got me excited about music again. So I wrote down, this one got me out of my shell. I remember it's an album that's really big on kind of getting out there and like living your life. And just giving it a go, giving it a shot. So, I would say this one got me, as strange as it sounds, like this one got me out of my shell and just got me to, be my natural asshole-ish self. It's a very direct album. His songs are just, if you read the lyrics, there's not like a lot of hidden messages in there. He's just very direct and honest, which you don't see that often. And it's pretty refreshing. A lot of it, he wants to have friends, be friends. He wants to stop fighting, stop being saved. I don't think that's what I meant. Stop being scared. That makes more sense. And he wants to just do what he wants. So this is one of those, I mentioned it about the Walkman, but it feels like fresh and a classic at the same time. And the lead singer sounds like a druggie with a heart of gold. So I was instantly obsessed with the band. Didn't really know anything about them at all. Like, definitely when you Google, if you just Google Girls, you're Probably gonna end up on a watch list somewhere. And the album is called Album, so it's not an easy one to Google. This, I think every single song on here was just, I couldn't get enough of it. Most popular, Lust for Life, it's 17 mil. Not too shabby. A lot of them under $1 million though, so shabby. Yeah, they made one more album after this that was really good. Not as good, but still very good. I think one EP, and then called it Quitso. I think Christopher Owens is his name. He has, I don't know if he still has it, but he did a solo album, and then I don't know what happened after that. Discovered these guys on Pitchfork. And I was just drawn in. The songs are just so infectious, and he just sounds... The guy's got some problems, but he's trying his damnedest to get out of it. So, lyric I wrote down, I was definitely tied between lyrics on this one. So I wrote down, oh, I wish I had a suntan. I wish I had a pizza and a bottle of wine. I wish I had a beach house. Then we could make a big fire every night. Doesn't that sound like, it's kind of like there's a childishness, innocence. And if girls were here, hey-o, he would say, oh, I wish I had a suntan. I wish I had a pizza and a bottle of wine. I wish I had a beach house. Then we could make a big fire every night. It is so much fun to sing, if you can't tell. Yeah, this is just, honestly, just get this album or listen to, download it. It's just a lot. It's so much fun. It's just a hot dogs on the grill, wieners on the grill, buns in the sun. It's just a very fun album. So, number 46 is not a fun. You know what? It actually is fun, only if you enjoy being depressed. So, artist is Pedro the Lion. Album is It's Hard to Find a Friend. Favorite song, Bad Diary Days. So good. And then activity, I wrote On the Way to Bible Study. I think because I couldn't think of a good activity. So this is actually a Christian band, which is somewhat surprising for me. Which I think put me off. For one, the band is called Pedro the Lion. It's mainly one guy, David Bazan, I believe is his name. Came out in 1998. Hey, let's talk about when girls came out, because I am not good at doing all these things. 2009, 12 songs, 44 minutes for girls. Pedro the Lion, 1998, 12 songs, 42 minutes. I don't know what we're comparing them to. Yeah, I was initially... it took me a while to listen to this band. It was kind of like I always heard of them as being an emo band. I was like, which I was kind of into emo, but I just hadn't heard of it. And the name of the band, Pedro the Lion, just put me off. I'm like, this sounds like Tricks Are for Kids, and I just wasn't into it. Then I finally gave it a chance, and I was just like, yes, please. I enjoy this very much. Even some of the silly songs, there's a song called Big Trucks, which is just about if a semi-truck is going too slow or something, hey, it's fine. You don't need to honk at them. Like, they're doing the best they can. So it's just there's a lot of messages, a lot of life lessons in here. Bad Diary Days might have been my first exposure to this, and it's still one of my favorite songs. It is absolutely heartbreaking. It's a divorce anthem. I think they're married. It's basically his wife's cheating on him, and it's just, ugh. If you're a sucker for misery, you will just eat that up. They do question a lot of things. I say they, it's mainly one guy, but he questions his faith as well, which is pretty cool. You don't see a lot of people doing that, but he questions relationships and customs. He goes after, I've shared this song, When They Really Get to Know You, They Will Run. So he questions, basically kind of makes fun of the custom or the normality, what am I even saying, of women shaving their legs. And then husbands basically know what it's really like during winter because they don't shave their legs sometimes. but he goes after everything. Yeah, really good storyteller. The lyric, this is from Bad Diary Days, was pair of ticket stubs in the desk, a movie I'd never seen. I probably shouldn't ask, it sounds so accusing. She must have forgot to mention girls' night out. Oof. When you hear this and then the music behind it, and he's a singer-songwriter, kind of a folksy. He does have like a plugged-in album called Control that might have come out after this. I think it was his last album, and then he went under his real name eventually. But man, that's the one where that lyric itself to me is just gut punch. So how he sings it is, doo-doo-doo. Pair of ticket stubs in the desk, a movie I'd never seen. I probably shouldn't ask, it sounds so accusing. She must have forgot to mention girls' night out. And so this is him trying to like rationalize like, oh, I'm sure she didn't see that movie with some other dude. She must have gone out with the girls and just forgot to tell me. So he kind of like, you just see him rationalizing things throughout the song, and then eventually he finds out that things are not going well. Popularity, I think Bad Diary Days is in the lead at 1.76 million. Somehow Big Trucks is 1.173. So this one's up there. Part of me thinks maybe it shouldn't be this high, but I also just really like the album. I don't think there's definitely no bad songs. It's just like it's a harmless album. Bad Diary Days is this is probably rated too high, I would say. However, it's one of those that never gets old. I can just keep listening and listening. So durability factor high. Now I feel like we're ranking X-Men. That might be all I have to say. I know he did a garage tour, by the way. So I think he did it under his David Bazan name, his actual name. But he did like a garage tour or a living room. Maybe it was a living room tour where he literally would just go, oh, who's walking up? It's Pam. I guess I'm going to have to pause this. What am I meant to? And so anyway, that was that. Number... don't remember what I was talking about. Number 45 is artist is My Morning Jacket. Album is At Dawn. Favorite song, also At Dawn. And activity is Morning Walk. Because I remember... So At Dawn is just... the lyrics, there's not a ton to it, but there's something about that song. And this is one of those albums where I'm like, is this my number 45 of all, favorite? I don't know if it is, but that song At Dawn is so good. It's 3 minutes, 49 seconds. Apparently not very popular, but my God, it's just something about it. It gets me every time. So this is one of the bands, supposed to be a really, really good live band. I never saw them, but, one day. The voice is what drew me in. So I don't think... Was this the first... This might have been my first exposure to this band. I honestly don't remember if it was this one or... You know what? I think it was this. I think maybe I heard At Dawn. And because there was some hype starting to build around this band. And I heard At Dawn and I was in. I was lifelong subscription. Maybe not lifelong because I think I liked the album after this, and then it kind of like, I want to say lost their way. They just became a different band, so they were more like alternative country on this one. The singer's voice though is just, man oh man, it booms. Part of it is the way they record, which is pretty unique. I think I've heard like silo recording or something, but like if you just listen to his voice, it is overpowering. So they kind of became, I would say, more of a rock and roll hippie-ish band, like a modern Grateful Dead. But there's just something about the way that they record, and I tend to like their slower, longer ballads. which they have at the end of this. They have Strangulation, Phone Went West, I Needed It Most, If It Smashes Down. Whew, I think that's, you know what, this is one where like the second half might be better than the first half. You know what, I'm starting to think 45 is not a bad place. It's a really good album. I do like their first album even more than this, though. Let's see. Yes, it's that song At Dawn. I'll just probably repeat that about 5 more times, but it's just one of my all-time favorites, which I am making in. This is kind of funny. Funny and sad. We'll see. I was trying to do a top 100 favorite songs list, and I think I'm at about 320 so far. So editing is going to be required unless I just do my favorite 320 songs, which is not as catchy. The band itself, very laid back. I said that about Smog, but like they don't feel like their songs are ever in a rush. It's always like ding dong ding, ding 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 dong. Does that sound good? Should I pause while you go buy the album? But it's just, they're really fun to sing along to. Christmas Curtains, a fun one. But if you're like alone in your car or maybe at your house and you can just belt out some tunes, this is a great band for that. At least the first 2 albums. I would say go with the first 2. First one I think is called The Tennessee Fire. And they're just, I don't know, they're just 2 of my favorite albums. So, favorite lyric was, hopefully it occurs to me that there's one thing that I can't stand. That's the thought of a single day without your head in my hand. Isn't that nice? And you know what? I wanted to sing this. Pam is here now, so let's just see how this goes. I prefer to sing when nobody's here because it's much less embarrassing. But let's give it a try. You know what? I'm not gonna belt it, even though this is the one that I would love to belt. Anywho, here we go. Hopefully it occurs to me that there's one thing that I can't stand. That's the thought of a single day without your head in my hand. Boom. Mic drop. So, yeah, it's alternative country with a little bit of a rock and roll, and everything's really good. Lowdown, I think, is a little more country-ish than anything else. And I swear, so one of the track 4 is called Death is My Sleazy Pay, but it used to be called Death is the Easy Way, and I don't know what is happening in the world. I feel like this is part of the Matrix, where I'm like, are they just changing it and not telling anyone? Anyway, that's only going to be relevant to you if like you're a longtime listener of My Morning Jacket and you're like, wait, what are they saying the song's called? So, yeah, just a bunch of like belting out songs. Very, very, very good. Number 44, Roger. All right, this one gets a little kinky. Artist is called Pulp. Album's called This Is Hardcore. Wow. Favorite song called This Is Hardcore. And favorite activity would be doing the hanky panky in a swanky hotel room. So this album I discovered in high school. So I'd always heard about the band. They're a British band, Britpop. They got pretty famous for the song Common People, which was like just an anthem. But I was big into, I'd mentioned it before, I was big into Oasis, big into Blur, big into Radiohead, Supergrass, and then Pulp was one that I never really like wanted to get into that much. I liked Common People enough, but you know, it's one of those where like I didn't even go listen to the album. And then the video for This Is Hardcore came out, and it's just like, it just feels like a 70s, how do I say this in a nice way? it's I don't know if there's a good. It's a very provocative song, but it's done in such a way that it's a little hammy, but like you buy into it, right? So like I'm here for the ride. Yeah, it's got a 70s porn star vibe, which I don't even know how to. Yeah, you kind of have to hear it to get it, I guess. But like, he pulls it off. He pulls it off really well. Because these are like kind of like tight button, like elitist. It's kind of like a tight button elitist band, and then you hear some of these, and the songs themselves are just. Apparently, the second album. So they have like a bonus CD, and wowzers. One of the songs is "Can I Have My Balls Back, Please?" Okay. Well, interesting. But it just feels like it's like fueled by cocaine, and I don't know, it's just got a vibe to it. So let me see. Yeah, the video for this one is, I don't know, you see it and you're like, I would like to know more about these people, please. And the album has a lot of different sounds. So like The Fear, Help the Aged is like, shout out to grandparents. It really overall underlying message is, hey, one day you're going to be old too. So maybe don't be a dick to these people. The songs are really fun. I think there's a couple. Glory Days is kind of a disco-y song. But a lot of them are just kind of like that sultry, seductive, and just some outright pop songs that are genuinely just really good and really fun to sing. I think every single song has kind of a little, it's just really, really fun to sing. So, and then This Is Hardcore is, 6.5 minutes long. And you just have to hear it. It might be the song that I put on here, or maybe at dawn. I don't know. But I might go This Is Hardcore, because it's just like you just have to hear it. And if you don't buy in, then that's fine. That's your loss. Favorite lyric I put is, I am not Jesus, though I have the same initials. I am the man who stays home and does the dishes. The lead singer's name is Jarvis Cocker. And I think everyone in here is just like skinny and pale and British. So the way he sings is, I am not Jesus, though I have the same initials. I am the man who stays home and does the dishes. It's a very British album too. So I was heavily into the British scene at the time. Still am. Well, I don't really listen to anything new, but it's just like genuinely good pop songs. I think I might have said that already. So if I'm feeling repetitive, that's why. But the album still feels fresh. So it's, they kind of went backwards in time for this one. And ironically, it just feels, as new as the day it was released. So figure that one out. Yeah, there's definitely some funny songs. Like they kind of go after different moods. It's funny, sexy, earnest, reflective. Just a genuinely good album. And you wouldn't think that. It would almost seem like it's some kind of weird, album you should find like on the dark web. But just the video is a little swanky. But overall, it's like a really like uplifting album. So, anywho. Number 43 is Anyone Know Us by the Trail of Dead. Album is Source Tags and Codes. Favorite song, I think, is Baudelaire. And then I put favorite activity. I said best concert ever, because this is, I still have it ranked as my best concert I've ever been to. I saw them live, obviously, in Tallahassee in a small venue. I think it was Cow House, but then was other things, but I don't know what it was at the time when I saw them. And honestly, I was stunned that it might have been the timing. Maybe it was like during a holiday or something, but not as packed as you would expect, because this was a band that was known for their live show. They were known, I believe, for breaking their instruments, and they did not break any, but whatever. I just remember the energy from that album was, they played a lot of songs from this album. I think they opened up with It Was There That I Saw You, but it just went nuts. And you know what? We didn't talk about Pulp. 1 second. Plays, some on deluxe edition, so I don't know how many of these are accurate, but they have this as hardcore as 16 millis, so not bad. And the other ones are all like single digit millions. And You Know Us by the Trail of Dead, wow, not popular at all. We got mostly everything's in the hundreds of thousands, and then 3.3 million for How Near, How Far. Baudelaire, 444,000? Ew. Gross. So anyway, this is their third album. I knew about this band from their second album, which is really, really good, but it has a couple low points, so it did not make the list. But I was genuinely excited for this one, and then when this came out, if I remember correctly, Pitchfork gave it a perfect 10.0, which they don't do very often. And so, the hype was at an all-time high, and then like they were known for the live stuff, so like I went into the concert, could not wait, and then I saw them play, and the energy was, it was just they brought it. I remember everyone sang, everyone did everything, so like they would just, their songs are not exactly ballads, so they're I don't know if you consider them punk. They have some punk qualities, but whatever you would call them, they're like classy punk. I don't know. But they would switch their instruments. So like the drummer would like all of a sudden, like between songs or maybe even in the middle of a song or something, like they just switch and like, oh, now he's playing guitar and now this dude's singing, and it was just all over the place. But yeah, just like manic energy. It's an awesome Gym album. It's on, so many of these songs are on my Gym playlist. What else? A very tight album, so it goes quickly. It says 45 minutes. 2002 it came out, 11 songs, 45, we'll just say 46 minutes. But it goes quick. Relative Ways is very fun to sing. I feel like there might be a really short, After the Laughter is not even a real song. So it's really 10 tracks, if you look at it that way. But it just goes quick. It just like, it flows really well. It just goes from like track to track. And there's just, their energy's at a 10, tons of feeling. I did get pulled over. I remember, so I went to the show, I believe with my roommate, Mark, at the time. And, we left, and I'm just like, my head's buzzing. I'm just like, I can't believe how much fun that was and how good they were. And I left, and I wasn't even a mile from the show. And I get pulled over. There's one of those like flashing red lights where it's flashing in all the different directions. And I think I thought I had the right of way, but I was just not in my right mind space. Oh, thank you, Soph. And so, I got pulled over, and then I think I got out of that because the guy knew my friend's dad, which I mentioned, who was a patrolman or something. And I just casually mentioned his name. And I got out of it. So, there's that. Hold on, one pause. Lyrically, it's not that great, but it doesn't matter. The album itself is just very good. Favorite lyric I put, I'm so damned, I can't win with my heart in my hands again. And how they sing it is, I'm so damned, I can't win with my heart in my hands again. And then followed by more or less that. And then they kind of just sold their souls after this album. I think I like one or two of the songs from the next one, and then after that it's just like, no thanks. Number 42, I tried singing this one, and it's gonna be bad. Fiona Apple is the artist. Album is, I gotta pull it up because it's very long. I call it the idler wheel, but it is the idler wheel is wiser than the driver of the screw, and whipping cords will serve you more than ropes will ever do. Whatever. I think it's some poem. And favorite song I put down is Every Single Night. Honestly, just like every single song on this album is great. And activity is breaking up with someone by putting on a play, because she's very theatrical. I feel like she would do that. I will say Hot Knife is a fun song. Just not even lyrically, but just the way she sings it. She is kind of like, so I said Tom Waits has his own little corner of the music industry. Fiona Apple's the same way. Like, she just does things on her terms. I found out about her from watching Howard Stern back in the day. Her album, I forget, Title, I think was the name of it, but Criminal was a song. I want to say she sang that, and I was just like, oh, who is this, like, high schooler who's somehow on Howard Stern and has just an amazing voice and just a different vibe to her. You can tell she might be an alien, really. I think she dated David Blaine at one point. But she is one of the more unique artists out there. You know, like Bjork does her own thing. Fiona Apple just has her own vibe. She just releases an album, like, I don't know, right now she's can't even call it a drought, but like it's been probably 8 years. Maybe, you know what? Maybe not. I think she released one in 2020. It's been 5 years, but like she goes a long time between releasing albums. This one came out 2012, 11 songs, 45 minutes. I knew Fiona Apple had to make my list because she's one of my favorites, but I couldn't decide on the album, and it's honestly this or maybe her second one, the name of which escapes me at the moment. But yeah, I had to make sure that I had some Fiona Apple on here. Yeah, she's just a super interesting. I feel like there's not a lot of interviews ever since maybe her first album. She's just her very own person. I think she's really cool, and I don't know. I would love to like learn more about her. But yeah, she's just one of those who like she's all about the art, and this is definitely a breakup album. If you read the lyrics, some things are coded, but really, really strong. 11 songs, and it's just, I don't know, each one is just its own little special piece of art. I cannot recommend her. If you've never listened to Fiona Apple before, please. I wouldn't, you know what, start from the beginning, because she kind of just grows and changes throughout the years. I don't know that I've listened to the last one all that much, but the first, I'm going to say 3 or 4 are really, really good. And I'm sure the others are too. I didn't give them the time maybe that they needed. So favorite lyric is, I guess, I just must be a daredevil. I don't feel anything until I smashed up. And she has an interesting way of singing and playing music, but she's like a Christopher Walken. She just has her own beats. She says, I guess I just must be a daredevil. I don't feel anything until I smash it up. She's very playful. She is playful and dangerous, which I've used to describe somebody else, actually. But she's just a really super interesting, all the integrity in the world. Can't say enough nice things about her. Let's finish strong. We're going to try to make this quickie. Hey, yo. Number 41, Silver Jews is the artist. Album is American Water. Favorite song, Random Rules. And I put activity as Backpacking in the Wilderness. I absolutely love this band. I only really listened to, I'm going to say like 2 to 3 albums of theirs. They have more, but I for whatever reason, I tend to stick to those 2 or 3. This guy unfortunately died a little ways, I think a few years ago. David Berman, something like that. I just ordered his book of poetry for Christmas, and I was telling some people about it. But lyrically, I don't know if anyone would top him. I know I think I described Smog as like a Tom Robbins type, but like this guy is probably more accurately a Tom Robbins type. He's just a genius in the way he says, like, if you want to read lyrics, go to the lyrics of this whole album and you'll be, he should have taught a class. Maybe he did. I don't know. But like, he's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Stephen Malkmus from Pavement is a guest on a few of the songs. And yeah, I put he's an all-time lyricist. I would put him easily top 5, maybe just number 1. I don't know how you beat this guy. His observations are just stunning. And just the way what does he say? He's got one, something like when the sun sets in the ghetto, all the broken stuff gets cold. Like, he has just a way of framing things that, I don't know, really makes you think. While Pam's not in here, I'm going to do the lyric real quick. So this is how the album starts. In 1984, I was hospitalized for approaching perfection. And he says, in 1984, I was hospitalized for approaching perfection. He's very, like, kind of a sing-songy, I don't want to call him alternative country because he's not that, but it's just a folksy, indie, whatever you want to call him, but lyrically and musically too, it's not, breaking any new ground, I would say, musically, but lyrically the man is probably unmatched. I can't, nobody pops to mind. Smog would be maybe my best competitor, but honestly I think this guy's probably on a different level. He's wrote a book of poetry that I'm buying, if that says enough. The Natural Bridge is the other album that they made that I love it. One of my all-time favorite songs, which is going on my favorite, it's Honk If You're Lonely. It's such a fun song to sing. Such a fun song to sing. I am so tempted to just play it. You know what? If you're listening to this, you made it this far. We're at 41. Just give it a download. Give it a try. Just read the lyrics. What's the worst that happens? You have an aneurysm? That would be horrible, and I hope that doesn't happen to you. That's it. I think I'm just going to stop it there. I did. You know what? I wrote something clever. Hold on. He flips the world upside down and examine what makes it tick. Wait, examines. Damn it. Really, 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 really good. And I would just say, if you need a fun song to bring your spirits up, Honk If You're Lonely is out of this world. Came out in 1998, 12 songs, 48 minutes. And we got a couple, Random Rules, 11 million plays. Everything else mostly in single-digit millis. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for listening. If you're not listening, thank you as well. And we'll pick up next time, numbers 40 through 31. It's getting good. Oh, you know what? I thought I was going to pause or end it there, but my thing went to sleep. Bye.